Welcome, listeners, to Embracing Power and Potential, your go-to podcast where we travel through the realms of personal growth, mindset mastery, and fear-conquering strategies to help achieve your greatest desires. I'm your host, Portia, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this transformative experience. If you're ready to unleash your authentic power and elevate your life, you're in the right place. Join me and our special guests as we embark on conversations that will broaden your horizons and enrich your journey. So, sit back and immerse yourself in these unmatched discussions. It's time to expand your mind and your life. Hello, my loves. Before we get into today's episode, I want to announce that I am running 2 more offers in my private one-to-one mindset coaching where we can work together for 3 months to break down any limiting beliefs that may be holding you back to an ideal reality that you want to be living. And that can be as simple as working on building discipline. So it doesn't need to be some fancy big goals, but if that's something that you have in mind as well, of course we can work towards that. But I just wanted to pop that here, and you can chat with me on Instagram or email me, which I will pop both of those links in the show notes, just to find out a little bit more to see if that will work for you. So, today's episode, we are diving into the art of being delusional. And this is my favorite way to be. But I'm going to start with a personal story around how I just manifested my car by being delusional. So, the craziest thing happened, and somehow the universe conspired in my favor. And some people may think you're crazy for thinking this was a good thing, but my car got smashed up completely. And the first thing that I said was, thank you, universe. Because let's backtrack. So I got this car at the start of last year when I first come back to Adelaide. My nan helped me get it because I was not in a financial state to be buying myself a car. And then about a year later, at the start of this year, it conked out on me. So I paid $2,000 to fix it, and they said pretty much you're going to need to find a new car within the next 6 months because the transmission is going to blow. So great. I was thinking, how the fuck am I going to have time to go and find a new car and somehow trade it in, get all the money together, which I did not have the savings there for a car. That was not my priority. So I just left it into the hands of the universe. I would write about manifesting, having a new car, doing all the things, and then surrendering to the universe. And then the ultimate game changer happened when my car was vandalized at the front of my house. Completely smashed. Ridden off. So that meant I got paid out from my insurance company. So that paid for my new car. And I only took 1 day to go and shop around, and I found the perfect car that I already wanted in my mind when the mechanic told me that day, you want to look for a Mazda 2, 3 or Toyota Corolla. I had that in my mind, and I loved the shape of a Mazda 2 because I do like a smaller car. Literally the first car I looked at, and I just knew that was meant to be my car. So thank you, universe. That's literally what I said when I seen my car vandalized and smashed up at the front of my house. Glass was everywhere, and I looked up and said, thank you, universe, for giving me a new car. And everyone's like, why are you not even upset about this at all? Because I knew that everything happens for a reason, and everything happens for me, not to me. So any circumstances that may be shitty at the time always end up being in my favor. And I truly believe that. So call it delusional, but this is how I live my life, in the belief that everything works out for me. So it does. And it's not really delusional when that actually becomes your reality all the time. So just think about that for a second. Now I want to get into today's episode. And firstly, I want to start by redefining delusion. Because society makes it into like a bad thing. Or being delusional, like you're stupid in a way for believing something that's maybe not real. But instead, look at it as believing in something before it's visible. Many successful people were delusional before they came undeniable. So let's look at Jim Carrey, for example. And I'm not sure if you've heard his story, but it's quite remarkable. So I'm just going to quickly skim over the main parts of it. Before he became a world famous actor, literally one of the most famous actors ever to make movies, he used to try and do little comedy shows around, and wouldn't really get much from his audience. So what he would do is he would sit on a ledge looking over the Hollywood sign every night, and he would imagine being a world famous comedian. And he did this religiously. And then what he did, and I mean at this time in his life, he was poor. He was having to quit school to work with his dad. And his situation did not look like anything that he wanted his reality to be. But what he did is he had the belief that one day this was going to happen for him. And to concrete that belief in, what he did is he actually wrote himself a check for $10 million from an acting studio. I can't remember the exact name. And I'm not kidding you. Go and look up this story yourself to get the full details. But after he made his first movie, I believe it was Mask, he received a check in the mail from that acting company for $10 million. Because he was delusional for so many years before he popped off, he created his reality. He co-created with the universe by living delusionally and believing he was someone that he wasn't, and then it happened. And I believe that if someone can do it, everyone can do it. So if Jim Carrey could do it, everyone could do it. So the way that I've changed my perspective on delusional is I look at being delusional as embodiment. And someone actually pointed this out to me from a reel that I posted on my Instagram. And they said, I love how you define it as embodiment, which I did not say those words, but the way I explained how I am delusional literally is being in embodiment with the future person that I am calling in. So being delulu means that you are believing it's already happened, which is exactly what you need to do to manifest. It goes hand in hand. So when you are manifesting actively, when you are calling something in, you are embodying the energy. And you are constantly being in that energy so you can match the frequency of the things that you want. So this goes hand in hand with being delusional, because even if you don't actually have the things yet, they're not tangible, they're not physically in your reality, you are acting as if those things have already happened. You are acting as if the person that already has that reality. But use delusion with discernment. and use it with intention. Because sometimes people may get delusion mixed up with denial. So delusion is constructing a new reality and emotionally aligning with that, which is manifestation in a whole. But then there's denial. So that's avoiding responsibility or consequences. So just be conscious to not mix the two up, because we want to be living in alignment with our new realities, but not avoiding current responsibilities that we do still have. So just being aware of that, I guess. Ever feel like you're meant for more, but something keeps holding you back? Maybe you've read the books, set the goals, but deep down, doubt still creeps in. It's not just about working harder, it's about rewriting your mindset for success. I help ambitious young people break past limiting beliefs, step into their power, and create the life they know they are meant for. If you're ready to stop playing small and start living big, book in your free discovery call with me today. My website will be linked in the show notes, or you can find me in my Instagram bio. Embracing Power and Potential Coaching Services. A vision to empower 10,000 young people to create a life they truly desire. So now, when we're being delusional, this wraps up into being delusional with our identity, because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between if it is real life or if it is imagined. So look at your identity as a story. You have the power to change it and choose it to however you like. Because when you change your identity, that's when you change your frequency and change your external reality by first working on your internal, how you move through the world. And even this can come into your appearance, how you dress, how you act, and making decisions from your delusional self. Because remember, sometimes I know that from experience, I feel like I have to look a certain way or dress a certain way because that's what society expects of me now, because that's how I've shown up for so long. But that's just a story that I've made up. That's not fact. You have the power to change yourself whenever you want to match what you now want for your new life. So some delusional habits that actually work is visualization, visualizing yourself in your new desired reality, tapping into the emotion and the feeling that gives you, because that puts you on that same frequency. Because remember, your mind does not know that is just a vision, that does not know that that's not your reality, because you're working with your subconscious. And when you visualize, this is when you quantum leap through different timelines of your life, and you actually connect with that timeline and that person. So if you do this constantly, visualize every day and nights before you go to bed, you will see how that delusional visualization literally will become your reality, while also moving through your day-to-day life in that same energy and in that embodiment. Another delusional habit that I like to do is speaking to your future self. Just talk to yourself out loud. Because remember, we're being in delusional energy. So it can feel weird at the start. It used to for me. Even just doing mirror work and talking to myself, honestly, it felt a little odd. Like maybe I was going a little bit batshit crazy. But it works. Honestly, this stuff really works. Because when you're talking to yourself, it's like a prayer. You're putting those things out into the universe and you're connecting with your higher self, with the future you. So just having conversations, it may be delusional, but those delusions will become your reality. And then the last habit is dressing, acting, and making decisions from your delusional self, which I did already touch on before. And this is basically embodiment. This is really what embodiment is. Acting as if you are already living in the manifestations that you are calling in. And embodying the version of you who always gets what she wants. Tapping into main character energy. And that's what these practices and habits can do when you visualize constantly, when you talk to your future self and embody your future self, you are embodying your main character energy. And the most important part of manifesting and being in your Delulu energy is not needing evidence. You do not need evidence because you create the evidence. Most people wait for proof before they believe that something is possible. But in reality, belief comes first. The evidence comes after, because your external world, your external reality shifts when your beliefs shift. Because remember, your beliefs create your life. So once you do believe in full that these manifestations are your reality, that's when you will start to see the things shifting and changing and conspiring to make that happen. When you are fully in alignment with your words, your actions, your thoughts, and your beliefs, the universe always conspires and works with that because that's energy. So I guess just a little example that I can use for myself right now is being a podcast host. And of course, I'm wanting to become a bigger and successful podcast host. But instead of waiting for 1 million downloads to feel legit, I have already decided that my voice is powerful and people are meant to hear what I'm supposed to say. So I act like I am a top of the charts podcast host. I connect with other podcast hosts. I actually am going to be on a show next week, which I am very excited about. Just a little side note. But I'm already in the energy of being a podcast host. I'm not looking for the evidence first. I believe that I already am. So the universe is bringing these opportunities to me, because that is the law of attraction as well. Once you're on the frequency and you're doing the aligned action and embodiment, things will start to gravitate towards you because you are on that frequency. So only things that are matching your frequency can come in to your reality. And some common phrases that you might be able to relate to when you are looking for the results before the belief are things like, once I have more followers, I'll post with confidence. And then another one is, once I see results, I'll believe this works. So this is where the mindset shifts have to come in to change that. Because remember, belief, then results. And it can be hard when you're first starting on this journey, on this manifestation journey and co-creating with the universe, because it's hard to believe something before it happens. But once you do it consistently, it becomes easy, and being delusional becomes a part of your everyday identity. I am delusional and I love it because, first of all, I'm in that energy. I'm in that high vibrational energy where I believe that things are flowing and things are moving. Even if I can't see it yet, I know that it's coming to me. So just tapping into that energy and consistently working with it and journaling around it, doing the mindset work is so important. And that's how you will see your results and create your reality that you truly want. So this week, I dare you to be delusional. Say it, do it, believe it before it makes sense. And if there is anything that you are manifesting or being delusional about, definitely message me and let me know because I love to hear your stories. So, for example, I live in the delusional reality that I make $10,000 every single month. Because even if I don't make that yet, I do notice that every month I have more and more left over in my bank account. And I'm still spending, but I'm building that more and more and more, and it's becoming my reality. Every month it's getting closer. So that's just another way to be delusional, is you can literally use it for anything. But really doing the inner work and journaling around these limiting beliefs will help, because I've done this work for a couple of years now, and the consistency is the most important thing. So I have to go back quite often and work on my money mindset and work on different limiting beliefs that come up for me around business and coaching. So that's just a little side note before I do end here. I do hope you have the best week, and I will see you in the next one. Love you so much, and we'll talk soon. Bye.